welcome to Kids Church this morning. Kids Church is going to be awesome, so I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to go right into worship, but before we do, we have to warm up. So everybody's up on their feet with me. Awesome. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 3 different things. We're going to do 5 jumps, then we're going to do 5 spins, and then we're going to do 5 jumping jacks. It's a lot to remember. Just watch me and I'll help you out. Okay, you ready? 5 jumps first. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spins. 1, 2, getting dizzy. 3, 4, 1 more spin. 5, 5 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're all warmed up and ready for worship. Let's worship together.
I know the reason why my feet can't stop, my heart can't help but sing. It's a wonderful feeling to feel your love for me, to feel the joy you bring. Your love is the answer, so I sing to you. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I know the reason why my hands are up, my feet dance down below. It's a wonderful feeling that I belong to you, no matter where I may go. Your love is the answer, so I sing to you. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh. Jesus, you're the reason. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. So thankful that you love me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Let's go. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Come on. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason.
It is time to play a game! Help me out, cheer with me. Matthew, 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 Matthew.
I told her, exactly. So hello. Thank you everyone for joining us on another exciting game. As you can see, I am sitting here with one amazing bucket of sand. Now, for those of you who have been to the beach, sometimes you can find amazing treasures hidden inside the sand, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. There are going to be different objects inside this bucket, and you need to figure out what they are before we pull them out completely. You'll see a bit of it, and then you're going to have to guess what it is. Think you can do it? Let's find out. All right, we have our first item here. You can see it's inside the sand bucket. What could that be? Get a good, nice look at it. What do you think that's going to be? Huh? Any guesses? Ready to find out what it is? A key. I wonder what it opens. Maybe a car. Let's find out what else is in here. Round 2, here we go. You can see what's in that bucket. Something that's white. It's got a round top or side. We don't know what piece of this thing, whatever it is. I have no idea what this is. Actually, I do not put it in there just a second. Any guesses? What do you think it could be? Ready to find out? It is a coffee pod. It's for Sleepy Time Herbal Tea. Beautiful. Round 3. We've got something that's blue, I think. Might be purple, I'm colorblind, I can't tell the difference. And there's white stuff on it as well. Looks to have kind of a slender shape to it. What do you think it could be? Here we go. It's a toothbrush. It's actually my toothbrush. And now I'm gonna have to get a new toothbrush. So thanks for that. Time for the next object. Here it is. What do you think that could be? Me personally, I feel like even if I hadn't put this one in myself, I think I'd still be able to figure out what it is. I'm gonna rotate it around. Maybe get a better idea. What do you think that could be? Huh? Ready to find out? It's a screwdriver. If you guys have any IKEA furniture you need built, you just let me know, because now I got this. Okay, this one's a tough one. I've got like 90% of it covered. You can only see the very, very top. What do you think that is? Buried in the sand. I can tell you something, this object does not like being in the sand. I can tell you that confidently. Give up? Ready to know what it is? It's a golf ball. Golf balls like being in hole-in-one. They don't like being in the sand. All right, we've got another object here. Now, I'm not sure if this one is an easy one or a hard one. Think you can figure out what it is? Whatever it is, it's big. I'm gonna rotate it. That might help you figure out what it is a little bit better. Any ideas? Give up? It's a mug. Now we have something to put our herbal tea in. Beautiful. All right, one object left. This one is a doozy. You think you can figure out what it is? Sticking out of the sand. It's got a really weird shape to it. I'm gonna swivel it around. You'll probably figure out what it is. It is a piece of pizza. I won't do that. There's sand in it. That's disgusting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you again real soon for another exciting game.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verses 22 through 33.
Jesus and his friends had reached the end of a long day, and they were exhausted.
Get in the boat. Go ahead to the other side of the lake.
Oh, wait a second. Aren't you coming too?
I must send the crowd home.
Well, all right. Andrew, James, John, let's get a move on.
That very morning, Jesus had received terrible news. His cousin, John the Baptist, had been killed by King Herod. Wishing to be alone, he and the other disciples took the boat and went across the other side of the lake. But people followed, and later that day, Jesus fed more than 5,000 people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.
So, bro, is Jesus gonna meet up with us later or what?
He didn't say.
Peter and Andrew and the other disciples climbed into the boat.
Nice breeze.
Yeah, but it's picking up. Should we wait?
Jesus said go, so we go, no?
Yeah, bro.
The disciples set off across the Sea of Galilee, rocked by a gentle wind. Finally, the crowds dispersed. At last, Jesus was alone. He climbed up high on the mountainside and poured out his heart to his Father.
Father.
As evening turned to night, and night stretched toward morning, the wind across the lake grew wild. Instead of reaching land, the disciples were tossed back and forth on the rising waves.
We're taking on water!
Bail it out. James and John, you take the stern. Andrew and I have the bow.
The wind and waves continued to pound the small boat. The disciples could barely see through the spray.
Hey, Peter, what's that?
What's what?
I see you too.
See what?
Come back here.
Peter staggered to the back of the boat. Everyone looked out into the gloom to try to figure out what this murky shape was that was coming toward them on the stormy sea.
It's a ghost.
Oh! Help us! We're gonna die!
But even as the men began to panic, the figure called out to them.
Be brave. It is I. Don't be afraid.
Peter fixed his gaze on the figure.
Lord, is it you?
The man came straight toward them, walking on the surging water as if it were a smooth, sandy beach.
If it is you, tell me to come to you on the water.
Come.
Now everyone stared at Peter.
You can't walk on water, bro.
But Jesus can.
Taking a deep breath, Peter grabbed the plunging side of the boat and then threw his legs over the side. Impossibly, he stood up on the water.
Whoa.
This is crazy.
Peter locked his eyes on Jesus, the only solid, stable thing in the storm-tossed sea. He took a step, then another step, and a third step. But at that moment, Peter caught sight of a monstrous wave at the edge of his vision. He turned his gaze toward the monstrous wall that threatened to crush him.
No!
Instantly, Peter lost his footing. The water sucked him down and whipped him around.
Lord, save me!
Immediately, Jesus reached out and grabbed Peter's hand.
Your faith is so small. Why did you doubt me?
Jesus firmly helped Peter back into the boat. Then he got in too. The wind died down and the water became smooth as glass. Jesus' friends sank down in the wet deck of the boat and stared at him in awe.
You really are the Son of God.
Free of the storm, the boat sailed smoothly across the water, guided by a gentle breeze. As day broke, Jesus and his friends landed at Gennesaret. After a night they would never forget.
Hey everybody, I'm in my... Oh. Pastor Jenna, I mean, it was one thing when you switched the suitcase out and it was a suitcase inside of a suitcase, and then you gave me the satchel, but now, this isn't even an armchair. This is just a regular chair. That's really frustrating. It's so hard to focus on what you're supposed to do when things keep going wrong. Where was I? Okay, I'm in a chair. I've got my suitcase, and in this suitcase is something that's supposed to help us remember the bottom line for today. Today's bottom line is that we need to stay focused on Jesus. What's something that you think could help us remember to stay focused? Maybe a target, because you have to focus on a target. Maybe glasses, because you need glasses in order to focus. What is it? Oh, it's a light bulb. Now that's interesting because in the Bible, it says that Jesus is the light of the world. Lights are pretty cool, aren't they? They help us see things. If you didn't have light, you wouldn't be able to get around anywhere. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this. When you're in a dark room, your eyes usually go for the brightest spots. As soon as you can find some light, that's where your eye wants to go because that helps you understand where everything else is. As soon as you light one candle in a dark room, you know so much more than you did before. And if Jesus is the light of the world, he's the thing that helps us understand everything around us. you know, as I'm saying that, I kind of feel silly forgetting that about the chair, because I was so focused on the chair and how frustrating it was that it wasn't the chair I wanted, that I forgot about the light, the reason that I'm sitting in the chair, so that I can talk to you guys about Jesus. But it's true, Jesus is the light, and he helps us understand everything around us. So when we focus on Jesus instead of the darkness or the bad things that are around us, we're actually able to get through those tough times even better. And now that I realize, you know, this isn't such a big deal. I mean, it's not the armchair. The armchair is way comfortable. But I'm still doing something that I'm supposed to be doing. So I think that's pretty cool. I'll see you guys again real soon. Can't wait to see what Pastor Jenna has cooked up for us in the suitcase next week.
Now it's time for
Reveal the question.
Let's open our mail and see what question there is for us this morning. So here's what we're answering together. How do I stay focused on Jesus? Do any of you boys and girls like going on walks? Maybe with the summertime, you're outside a lot and you like to go for walks, maybe around your block. Maybe your parents love walking and you go with them. Have you ever been to like a racetrack, maybe at your school, and it's really big and it's in a big oval shape? Or have you ever been to a walk in the woods before? Just like a racetrack, it's not a straight line. If you are going on a walk or a run in a racetrack, you go straight for a while, then there's a big turn and you go straight again, and there's another turn at the end. Or if you go for a walk in the woods, there's lots of sticks on the ground, there's gonna be some hills, you have to be kind of careful when you're in the woods. So just like both of those tracks, they might be a little bit bumpy, there's big turns, there's maybe some hills and some really steep slopes down. Our life, even when we follow Jesus, is not a smooth path. It kind of looks like a racetrack with turns, or a walk in the woods with an uphill and then a downhill of a day. Staying focused on Jesus looks like a couple different things. One, going to church is a great way to stay focused on Jesus. When we go to church, we learn about God. We get to see our friends who know about Jesus. We get to pray with each other. And we also get to learn about a story in the Bible. Another way to stay focused on Jesus is reading our Bibles at home. So when we read our Bibles at home, we're not just learning about the Bible one day a week, but we can do it every single day. And that helps us to hear God's voice and know what we should do. Another way to stay focused on Jesus is to pray. So we can pray every single day whenever we want to. It doesn't matter where we are, God always hears us. And when we pray, it's important for us to pray, but it's so important for us to be quiet and listen and to hear God's voice. So doing those things really helps us to stay on track. Another great way to stay focused on Jesus is to have Christian friends. So to have other people, or it could be our parents, it could be our grandparents, it could be people our own age, it could be people older than us that know Jesus so well, and they can help us when we're confused and don't know what to do. We can talk to them and they can help us point us in the right direction. So all of those things can help us stay focused on Jesus.
Bye, everybody. See you next week. So sorry Pastor Jenna couldn't be with us today. She's buying me a new armchair because she lost the other one, apparently. I'll see you guys again real soon.